Nice to meet you all. This is Atrey Moriji, who is in charge of diorama production and has a background in geography. This time, I made a diorama of Ueno Station, one of the terminals in Tokyo, Japan. I'm still studying English, so from now on, I'll use automatic voice to guide you. Thank you.
This diorama recreates Ueno Station around 2000. The diorama is smaller than the palm of your hand. I made it over 10 years ago. Enjoy the small world of N-gauge size. The video is number 1. Local introduction. Number 2. Production. Number 3. Completed version. I divided it into chapters. Please also use the chapters when viewing. I would be happy if you could watch it until the end. Ueno Station is one of the huge terminals in Tokyo, Japan, near the famous Asakusa and Ueno Zoo. Shinkansen, JR lines, Keisei lines, and subway lines all gather here. From here, we will introduce the on-site survey from a model production perspective. The reason I made this diorama of Ueno Station was because I wanted to recreate the scene of the Limited Express Super Hitachi 27 bound for Sendai, which leaves the Ueno Station Limited Express platform at 11 o'clock in this image. That's how it all started. I wanted to give the diorama a three-dimensional feel, so I came up with a plan. I would like to recreate the elevated line marked in the image in a diorama. Personally, this scene is the most impressive at Ueno Station, so let's make a model here. The platform where the Limited Express Super Hitaga train that you want to model most is on the left side of the screen. 10 years ago, I had to be very creative when creating. It was difficult to recreate the complex shape of the viaduct, so I was worried about how to arrange it. This viaduct was slightly rusted. I thought this rust was also a feature. I would like to model this rust as well. However, 10 years ago, I didn't know much about weathering. I still don't really know how to do weathering, but at the time I was really worried about how to express this rust. The platform next door is under an overpass, so it's very dark. This platform was being used by a different route than the one I wanted to turn into a diorama. I felt that the darkness of this platform was one of the characteristics of Ueno Station. I wanted to recreate this dark home with a diorama. I wanted to recreate this diorama of an express train waiting to depart beside a dark platform. I came to a dimly lit platform under an elevated railway. The atmosphere was completely different from the platform on the right where I had been before. It would be fun to model this difference in atmosphere. The piers of the elevated bridge were cylindrical, and the foundation was also circular. It's difficult to model the circular shape of the base, so I was thinking about arranging it into a square shape. Between the tracks was equipment that was assumed to be for long-distance trains. I thought this pipe might be a water supply system. I came to the brightly lit Limited Express platform again to see the equipment. This equipment has a lid and can be used by opening it. I've come to a different place. The lid of this equipment was slightly open and the valve was visible. It would be interesting to recreate these facilities in a diorama. A ladder was installed on the pillar at this location. If you recreate this ladder as a diorama, it would be a nice accent. Not every pillar had a ladder. This is the station name sign on the Limited Express platform. The name of the next station is listed as Matsudo. This is the station name sign on the dark platform under the elevated track at the time of the diorama's creation. There was no indication of the station name of the neighboring station. Probably because a variety of trains were arriving and departing from Hokkaido, Niigata, and other areas. This time I came to the elevated platform. This platform was used as a platform for rapid trains on the Joban line, and there was an office at the end of the platform. The platform you can see in the lower left is the Limited Express platform I introduced earlier when I was a child. There was also a platform in the back. The train I always use was leaving from the platform where it used to be. The train's destination was displayed on a bulletin board, and the destination bulletin board was constantly being replaced. The platform that was often used has been abolished and is now used as a work passage. The area where people used to walk was once a platform. The viaduct was hook-shaped and the tracks were slightly curved. There was an empty space where the track curved, and weeds were growing there. I was very surprised to see weeds growing in large terminal stations in large cities. Station name sign on elevated platform kanji are displayed in large size. The next station is Napori. We will create a diorama based on the above field survey. From here, we will briefly guide you through the production process. Please note that this work was created over 10 years ago, so there may be few images or the quality may be poor. The base size is 7.87 inches wide, 3.94 inches deep, and 3.94 inches tall, which is smaller than the palm of your hand. The idea of building a huge terminal, Ueno station, here was quite a challenge. One idea was to recreate the limited express platform using ready-made products from the manufacturer. Another idea was to create an limited express platform in the front and recreate the station building on the Asakusa side behind it. In the end, I decided to arrange the express platform to look like the image. To express the rust on the viaduct, we used Waves product Serbi 10 Men. I tested it because it was my first time using it. It was interesting because you could get real rust. We used Tomix products double track elevated piers. For the parts painted green, I used a bridge made by Greenmax. On the right side, I cut out and glued the side wall of the viaduct made by Tomix. Serbi 10 Nen contained two liquids, the main liquid and the coloring liquid. The system is to apply the main liquid, and after drying, apply the coloring liquid to rust. I applied the main solution, but if it all rusts, it might be too much. I reapplied the main liquid. After this, I applied a coloring liquid. Make the circular base of the elevated pier using parts found in the plumbing section of a hardware store. I wired the power supply to the track and then sprinkled ballast on it. I made the platform myself using construction paper. A U-shaped groove was created between the tracks. I used either Plastract or Evergreen. We also built the foundation for a water supply system for long-distance trains. I used Tamiya's weathering master to reproduce the dirt on the platform. The tracks on the elevated platform were also wired for power. The platform was made by myself in the same way as the ground platform. Weeds that were very impressive on site were recreated using colored powder. Although you can't see it in the image, there is platform lighting inside this area that uses interior train lights. Temporarily place the viaduct. The cords for the track power supply and platform lighting were routed outside by drilling holes in the diorama base. The roof of the elevated platform was cut from a Tomix product. The platform pillars were painted the same color as the site. The roof was placed on the platform. It might be good. Sorry for getting so excited. The lighting on the elevated platform also used interior vehicle lights, by the way. At the same time we were working on opening the door of the exhibition vehicle. This craft was a lot of fun. I made my own water supply equipment for long distance trains that was on the ground. I also made the above ground piping myself for the pillars that support the piping. I used affordable parts that I found in my junk box. I installed these in a diorama as expected during the field survey. It became a nice accent to the diorama. After this, I covered the U-shaped groove. The roof of the above ground platform was cut from Kato products. I made my own signboard for boarding directions. The wire was made by heating and stretching a plastic rod. It will be exciting to model even the information signboard. I glued the roof to the platform even though it was not completed yet. It was so exciting that we displayed the modified vehicle. I created the station name signs and the electronic bulletin board for platform departure information on my computer. We placed small items in various places and set up an office on the elevated platform. From here I will introduce the completed diorama. I made a diorama in a compact case. Diorama measures 7.87 inches wide, 3.94 inches deep, and 3.94 inches tall. I think you can see that it is very compact. Although it is small, we were conscious of creating a lot of things to see. I photographed the diorama from the side. One of the best parts of dioramas is being able to take photos from angles that you wouldn't normally be able to take. From here, we will introduce the limited express platform, underpass platform, and elevated platform in order. Each chapter is divided into chapters, so please use the chapters as well. This width is 3.94 inches. It was difficult to create a three-dimensional effect with such a small size. The diorama is lit up so you can enjoy the night view. You can enjoy the diorama even more by adding interior lights to the vehicle. The diorama stands out even more because there are passengers inside the vehicles on display. We also placed dolls on the home platform to recreate various dramas. From here, we will introduce the limited express platform, underpass platform, and elevated platform in order. Each chapter is divided into chapters, so please use the chapters as well. From here, we will introduce the limited express platform, which is the main character of the diorama. The images of the Ueno Station Limited Express platform that was used as a model. It was reproduced in the diorama by arranging the left and right sides in reverse. The Limited Express Super Hitachi number 27 bound for Sendai, which departs at 11 a.m., is a memorable train for me. This diorama was created to film this human drama. She is going back to her parents' house for a long vacation. The train is about to leave. Only 2 people on the platform. We reproduced the pick-up and drop-off scene. Thank you for the fun memories. The first 4 cars of the 11-car train were bound for Sendai. The exhibition vehicle carried passengers bound for the coastal areas of Fukushima Prefecture and Sendai. The interior of the exhibition vehicle was simply painted. The interior doors of the car were also painted. The inside of the vehicle door was light blue. The aisle doors inside the train car were yellow. Even in the model, I painted the walls yellow and recreated the door. This is one of the scenes I wanted to model during my fieldwork. A limited express train waits to depart next to the platform under a dark elevated overpass. I tried to reproduce it as much as possible in the model. Personally, I really like this photo. The station name sign on the limited express platform indicated that the next station was Matsudo Station. The design was also reproduced in the diorama. A train information board was hanging from the ceiling. This is one of the characteristics of Ueno Station, so we recreated it in the diorama. We packed the charm of a limited express platform into a small space. So far, we have introduced limited express platforms. From here, we will introduce the platforms under the elevated tracks. It has a unique dark atmosphere even during the day. We worked hard to create that atmosphere in the model as well. I adjusted the lighting to be a little dimmer. The station name signboard on the platform under the overpass was simple, with no indication of the station next to it. The simple design was also reproduced in the diorama. The boarding information on the platform was orange. This platform also had a boarding guide hanging from the ceiling. I also made this information sign for the diorama. Considering the time of 11 a.m., I placed the passenger doll on the platform. We thought about passengers heading to Saitama City, one of the largest cities in Japan. You can see the limited express Super Hitachi from the platform under the elevated track. The limited express Super Hitachi is really cool. At the end of the platform, there was a stairway for employees to go down to the basement. I also made the stairs into a diorama. What was difficult to reproduce was the characteristic round base of the column. I was able to successfully reproduce it in a diorama. What impressed me during my on-site survey was the equipment for long-distance trains. I was able to recreate this without any problems with various arrangements. So far, we have introduced the platforms under the elevated tracks. Lastly, I would like to introduce the elevated platform. The hook-shaped viaduct is impressive. Even in the diorama, this key shape has been reproduced in a limited area. I made a lot of efforts, but I'm glad it went well. During the field survey, I also photographed this key-shaped area from an elevated location. For the diorama, I made it while arranging it. The platform office has also been recreated. I have posted a timetable in the office. I created both the office signboard and timetable on my computer. It's a small detail, but it became a nice accent. The station name signs on the elevated platforms were mainly in kanji. The design was also reproduced in the diorama. We also created an electronic bulletin board for the platform. This concludes our introduction to the small diorama of the huge terminal Ueno station. This time, we have remade the existing Atelier train video and made it into English. If it is well received, we would like to make other diorama videos in English as well. Please comment if you like. If we receive a certain number of requests for video conversion, we will create an English version of the existing video. At Atelier Train, we want to contribute to society through dioramas. Please subscribe to the channel if you like. We will continue to take on various challenges. Thank you for watching until the end. I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.